this is the part A for the question number 1, practice 5.1, chapter number 5, MHR 10, McGraw Hill. And in this question, the author asks you what binomial product does each model illustrate, and I choose the part A only here to solve in this video. Okay, so firstly I say you what firstly I want to label this one, what is what. Okay, so that all the tiny rectangles, not tiny rectangles, this, yes, small rectangles, these rectangle is representing the x, the all representing whatever the horizontal or the vertical is representing the x. Okay, and the bottom one is also the x, but I'm not showing here right now. Okay, uh, and these small boxes is called the, I want to change the color, these small boxes is called the 1, or it represent the 1. Okay, so the size may be a bit change, but you can consider it as 1, a small tiny box. Okay, that is also the small tiny box, right? Is representing the brown tiny small boxes representing the 1, and the tiny rectangles in orange in color, the borderline is orange and inside the color is green, is representing the x, where the square, the big square outline is grayish, is x square, and the second one is also called the x square. And here inside the all tiny rectangles is called the x, representing x, and this one is also the x. Okay, this is considering x, not considering x, it is the x, and these tiny boxes are called the 1. This box is called 1 or represent 1, then other 1, and then other 1. Okay, so that's mean all sort of the rectangle is called x, the big square is called the x square, and the small tiny boxes is called 1. Okay, it is representing is x, is also representing the x, that one is the x square, the huge square, the big square, and that one is called the 1, representing 1. When you understand these things, you can easily solve all sort of the binomial questions. It's horizontal line and the other is the vertical line. Okay, now the firstly you have the small not a small, the rectangle, the first rectangle, the second rectangle. Okay, and then here is also a 1 rectangle, and there is a 2, not 2, the 3 small squares. The 3 tiny squares, the 1 square, the second square, and the third one is square. They are not parallel or equal, the shape maybe have vary, but consider it as. So you can read it as this one is x, this is also the x, this is 1, the small square, tiny square is 1, and other is 1, and other is 1. And the similar here, Similar here, you make a rectangle, the vertical rectangle, which is one is this. Okay, you draw here the rectangle, and then you draw a tiny box, which is 1. Okay, when and you know that this I already explained it, this is x, whatever the horizontal or the vertical, and this is the 1, the tiny square. All tiny squares are representing 1, and which is in red in color, the orange rectangles are x. Okay, when you multiply you always multiply the vertical line with horizontal line. So when you multiply this x with this x, you get a big huge square is like this here. Okay, right? So it is the x square, it is the representation of x square. Then when you multiply the x with the vertical x with the second horizontal x, you get another rectangle, not rectangle, the square x square. You get another x square. Okay, which is this one. Okay, now when you multiply this this x, the vertical x with the 1, the x one's the x, so you have the rectangle, and here the rectangle is vertical. So right here, the vertical, draw here the vertical rectangle, the first vertical rectangle, then you multiply the other one, this one, so then you get the other rectangle, and then you get the third rectangle. Okay, one after other, and you multiply the first one, and this first one representation is here in a tile method. When you multiply by this x by this one, you get this tile. Then you multiply this x with this one, you get this rectangle. Okay, okay. Now you are going to multiply this one with this x, so you get the rectangle, because 1 time x is x, so you get the rectangle. But in now the rectangle is the horizontal, and the people will be confused, the horizontal rectangle and the vertical rectangle. There is no need to confusion here. It's whatever the vertical or the horizontal rectangle, they are, you always considering is called x. Okay, so another x, how you get the second x? The first one is the multiplication of this one with this x, and the second when you multiply the one again, one with this x, you get this one. Okay, right? Okay, now after this step you are multiplying. Okay, now you multiply this x with and now you multiply this one with this tiny square 1, you get 1, and tiny small square is here. Okay, so I made here a tiny square first, or draw here, then you multiply this one with this one, you get again a tiny square which is representing the 1 here. Now the third and the last value, last multiplication of this one with this one, and the tiny square with the tiny square, you get another tiny square. Okay, so here you get you get what? This is the x square, this is also the x square, this is x, this is also called x, this is all rectangle is called x, and the big huge square are the x square, and these rectangles are the x, but these are called the 1 and the 1. Okay, wow. Okay, so how can interpret the this ties in algebraic expression? That is x square. So I'm writing the x square first, then plus the second x square, which is this one. So I'm writing the x square, the next x square. Then we have the 3x, the plus x, then plus x, and then plus x again. We have also 2x underneath of these two squares, a big huge squares. So I take these 2x, add here x, and the x again. Now we have a 3 tiny ones, tiny small boxes, which is denoted or represented 1. So we have the space, so we writing underneath of these x square here the plus 1 and the plus 1 again and plus 1 again. Simply you add these x square, it becomes the 2x square. Okay, and these x's is plus 5x, and these 1 3